Let's get going, shall we?
Welcome back to another episode of Mother Tongue's YouTube channel. Today we have the lovely Frankie with us. We're going to be talking about baby wearing because we are coming up to baby wearing week. Were you aware of that this is a whole thing?
I am aware. I'm so bad at keeping track of when it actually happens.
There's an awareness day week for everything, so yeah,
there is.
I'm not surprised.
I always stumble across it and then I remember. But yes, I think it's really good. Baby wearing is such a game changer when you're a young mom. It helps so much and it has so many benefits for your little one, including for you and even for dad.
Absolutely.
So it's something I will always advocate for. Yes.
So how did it all begin?
So I had my daughter. She's now 3 years old. So when I had her, I had a really tough time postpartum, and it kind of got me thinking. I always loved interacting with all the mums and stuff, and I had a great opportunity to get some training as a doula, and it kind of just grew from there. So then doula, I do love helping mums as pregnant mums, but I do find my calling is with postpartum mums. So I got my training as postpartum doula. I did a certification with baby wearing for a baby wearing peer supporter with Sarah Landing. And then I'm also trained as a breastfeeding counselor. So all the things I say, I'm an overall mummy helper, and
because we do need a lot of help.
Yes.
And I love that you are certified in baby wearing because I baby wore, is that right? Frida, for maybe up to 8 months, and you just mentioned it's so lovely as well for the dad.
Yes.
And this was a massive thing when we had Frida because it was really nice for my husband to carry her as well. It's super convenient.
It is. You don't need a stroller to go anywhere.
Yes.
Popping in and out stores, I love it. You just pop the baby, and
exactly.
I have a brand new 6-month-old and a toddler we're running after, so it's
you need those hands.
Yes.
I think it's brilliant for so many things. Convenience is one.
Yes.
I also think for sleep, it's also really good.
And you know what, baby wearing convenience is a great thing, but it's convenience combined with having baby in the best possible spot with you on your chest. So especially in those first 12 weeks where we call the 4th trimester, baby is right there, like safe for you. It lowers mom's anxiety because you're not worried if they're lying in a crib while you run. Even if it's your first time mom, you're not worrying about every single noise they make or every single thing because they're right on your chest. You help them regulate their temperature. You help them regulate their breathing. There's so much. If you're a breastfeeding mommy, it helps you pump up that oxytocin. Even if you're not a breastfeeding mommy and you're formula feeding, that oxytocin helps you build a bond really well. And let's be honest, there's nothing sexier than a daddy and a baby wearing.
Oh my goodness, the amount of times we have compared a dad with his baby is the same as when you see like a young fit guy with a puppy. Like people are just drawn to them in a different way to when us moms have them on. But to be honest, I must say I had the most amazing experience yesterday. I had Frida in our wrap and I had the pram as well because I was out doing bits and bobs. We were actually doing a recording, and we know how it is here in Dubai, the blazing heat, and I still had Heston here in the wrap walking across the car park, and this guy wound down his window, obviously saw that I had like a million things and was like, can I help you? And I swear I've never had someone do this to me. It was so lovely.
I have to say, Dubai, and with as much as it's so diverse, and so I find that there's always, like dads always seem to, there's a respect for women here.
Yes.
That I wouldn't necessarily see in my home country. We're very, not standoffish, but you're very scared of offending somebody, so they won't offer you help because, maybe she thinks you're coming on to her or something. But here,
it's lovely.
People love doing that. It's like men, even if you're breastfeeding out in public, like it's normally the men that will encourage things like that and the women that feel
uncomfortable a bit.
Yes. So it's...
Anyway, we've gone round the houses because obviously that's what we tend to do.
I was just going to say every sort of little topic around babies and dads.
But to highlight top line benefits of baby wearing.
Okay. So first is that bond.
Yep.
While having your hands free. Baby is close, you regulate temperature, regulate breathing. For premature babies, they actually studies show great that it helps their developmental.
Okay, amazing. I've never thought of that actually.
Yeah. There's hospitals in New Zealand that actually where the NICU nurses will baby wear, do kangaroo care.
Yes, I've heard about this.
Yes, and it's amazing. I think it's so good. Then, especially if mum can't do it, then there's always somebody. Then there's been great studies showing that actually kids who baby wear or kids who have been worn, actually their development, their social and language development is way higher.
Wow.
Because they say they're in such close contact with mum. They see facial expressions. Like these days, not as much just because we're wearing masks, unfortunately. But if you're at home, like interacting with close friends, your bubble, if you're not out, they actually
at the same level.
Yes, they're constantly looking at your face, your lips, how you move, your mouth, forming words.
Yes.
Social cues. When you're kind of standing back from somebody, when you're engaging with somebody, they learn all that language, like body language, and
that's fascinating.
It's been shown that it actually helps with kids' development in that way, which is so good. Some of the other benefits are it prevents flat head.
Yes.
So, baby's not constantly lying down on a flat surface.
Yes.
They're up.
Super important.
Yes. So flat head. It keeps baby safe. I say to mums all the time. And we experience it, you don't experience it as much with my second daughter, but with my first daughter, we experienced it loads where people would come up to her in a stroller and just stick their hands in. And they're like, oh, she's so cute. Can I hold her? And oh, can I touch her? And no, and we try not to be offensive, but you also don't want anybody to just touch your baby. People are way more reluctant to touch your child when they're here.
Yes.
So I say to mums all the time, especially when it's a newborn and you're scared and whatever, strap them on.
Yeah.
People will not close. You're making a safe bubble.
Yeah.
You feel more secure, and nobody's gonna touch you because
I love that.
Yeah.
So there's amazing benefits to baby wearing. Amazing. The minefield basically around baby wearing is maybe which carrier or which wrap or how to put them on.
I find a lot of mums are very scared of baby wearing or reluctant to baby wear it because it can be so overwhelming.
Yeah.
Like there is so many great carriers on the market, but I can see like some. Yeah. If you're standing in the store, and especially if you don't have anybody helping you.
Correct. You need recommendations, and you need someone to say like maybe the best carrier for you is not the best for me, and so it's very personalized.
Body types are so different. Some people have long torsos. Some people have narrow shoulders. Others have wide shoulders. I mean, you can compare some mums and their husbands, and they can have separate carriers that are comfortable for them.
Very interesting.
I find most families that, unfortunately, some of them can be expensive, but we fork out money for lots of other things, baby things.
They have one for the husband, one for husband,
one for mom, and one for
that's
dad.
Interesting.
Yeah. Especially if they, like my husband and I are fairly similar in body shape and height. I was going to say tallness.
She's on the decaf coffee. That's maybe why she can't find her words.
Yes. Sleeping, not a thing right now.
No.
So my husband and I are lucky because we're kind of similar in height and body shape, if you can believe that. So we use the same carrier and it's not a problem. But I can see, for instance, I have lots of families where husband is really tall and mum is petite and short.
Different ones.
And different carriers, like some carriers are amazing in the ability to adjust them.
Yeah, very versatile.
And versatile. Some of them now can go from just being an H strap, which means it just goes straight around over your shoulders, to being a cross back. You can go wear it both ways. So carrier companies are making a point of trying to make one carrier more flexible.
Shall we have a little look at some?
Yes, I think that's a great idea.
Let's do it.
Yeah. Okay, so there are 5 TICKS. Sorry, my brain is not functioning. I'm not sleeping much. But there's a checkpoint or checklist that I always do with moms when we have babies in the carrier. So, which is called ticks. So the first is tight. So, hey. Yeah, that's a good smile. You're happy in there. So is Rafa tight though? First thing you test is when you go slightly forward, is he gonna flop forward or not? So he's flopping a little bit, so you can probably tighten you up. Oh, your straps in the back are not done.
Oh, well, there you go.
That'll help. And then you can pull those. So what you want to do is pull them at the same time, and you might, with a bigger baby, have to kind of maybe sit down so you can get the weight.
There you go.
Perfect.
So now
jump.
Now, is he better?
Yes. He's not going kabonk, what you want to say. So the next one is eye. So in view at all times. So this is where it's really important for smaller babies, especially when they're close to your chest in a wrap or something. You want to be able to see their faces. So he's really nice and easy. So you can be like, Rafa, and you can see his face and he's able to respond to you. That's how you're going to know he's okay. Yes. You want to clap mine too? Yeah. Then C will be, now I can't remember. I always say, there's too close enough to kiss. And how can I not remember? So let's say close enough to kiss. So he's high enough so you can kiss the top of his head.
I can do that.
S, and we'll come back to C right now. S is supported. So you want to be able to have his back and hips supported. So you're great here. You've got the buttons tightened up. And Rafa's legs are not dangling. Okay. So a big thing for me is what you always see for parents is that the legs dangle. So you have a baby's legs that are just hanging, like this is Penelope, she helps me out. So you want just that, like avoid that. So you want their hips to be nice and tight and supported so they're not having dangling legs, so all the pressure is not on the hip. Can we say hi to Penelope? Say hi. Yeah. So looking at you, Mariam, the one thing that I do notice, and I see this all the time, and I have to always stop myself with parents on the street, is your lap belt, this one. Yeah. So how do you feel normally after wearing him for a little while? Backache. Yeah. So this is because your your waist belt, is not doing the work it's supposed to because it's too low.
Oh, okay.
So you want to start. Now I'm going to take mine. We've got the same carrier. Mine is just a very old version, but it's both at 360, and mine still has Velcro. You want to make sure that your lap is in the middle of your waist.
Ah, yes. So this is nowhere near that.
Yes.
So it needs to be
more.
So
for you to have more support, hold on. We've got. You want to tighten, instead of tighten through here, if you want to turn around so that people can see, you want to take this, and this is another reason why you might not be feeling the back support, is this needs to be there. So you want to tighten from this side to make it even so you have that.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Does that make a difference?
Yeah, massive difference.
Yes. Massive. So you can even lift him a little bit more, and you can try and get that there. And look at how much space you've got here.
Wow.
And we can try that. So this might make a really big difference on your backache for you.
Oh, wow, yes. Oh,
so
wow.
He's obviously a tall boy, and this is the grounds you get into when you start baby wearing toddlers, is that you might not be able to see, and they might be in your field of vision. But now he's in such a much better position. And
amazing.
It's way more comfortable for you. So another thing you can make sure his hips are, yeah, I've got one too, is to do a pelvic tilt.
Okay.
So what you can do is, I'm going to take Penelope from here. So what you can do is you can put your hands kind of in a C shape around his hips and just tilt him a little bit forward and then let go.
Ah,
there.
Okay.
So now he's sitting like he's sitting in a seat.
Yes.
Instead of...
You want Penelope, don't you?
Penelope? There you go. You can have her. one is we missed. Keep chin off chest.
Okay.
So
my chin or his chin?
His chin.
Okay.
So this is the same as with in view at all times. This is when you have a small baby, and I'm sure we'll get Heston, little Baba in one of the carriers soon, and we can demonstrate that properly. So for Rafa, obviously he's got really good head control. He doesn't need to have chin off chest because he moves himself, right? He's able to move himself around.
Amazing.
So,
God, this is so much more better.
Yes.
So much better.
Little small adjustments that you make can make a world of difference in baby wearing, to just distribute the weight more evenly and to make sure that he's more comfortable and you're more comfortable.
Amazing.
Because rule number one for me is both of you have to be comfortable.
For sure.
Because then it's just added stress.
Yes.
They're not.
Amazing.
So we're going to showcase a wrap. I never used a wrap with Frida. Look, we've got so much material between the two of us.
Yes.
But I decided to get a wrap because I felt it was more comfortable and just to try something different with Heston. Now, it does seem like there's so much material, and I get asked this all the time when I put this on. Oh my gosh, it looks so difficult. Now, I may look clumsy showing you how this goes on, but actually it's not very difficult at all. And Frankie will say it's really dead nice and soft, and
it can be super overwhelming, and especially if you've never done it before, it is. But once I've been seeing with a mum and they figured it out and they know how it goes,
then
they're
it's,
like, why haven't I tried? But yes, obviously the best option would be for you to do it, depending on your comfort level, to do it somewhere where you don't want the bands hanging on the floor, or this is going to look very funny, but I just always, if I'm in the public and I need to put my baby in, good old tuck between the legs.
Oh, I like that.
So that, you don't have to worry about. So I've seen you've started perfectly already.
Yeah.
So all your wraps, or most of them, will have some sort of marker in the middle. Ergo is great. They've put their little label, and that's how you know where to put what.
Yes.
So you start by putting that. Mine is just a little old gift from a mummy who made it for me.
Aww.
So you put, like you did there, in your middle, and then we start. Now, one on one, you did a great job there. I just kind of try and do a little magic.
It's that initial going on, and then it becomes very easy after that.
So you want to be able to have your back crossed. Now, you did a beautiful job because you don't have any twists or anything.
Thank you.
In your and that's what most mums always, I find, battle with. Is trying to just make sure that your wrap is straight to the back and not creases. So it's easy to just run your hand, make sure, and the more you do it, obviously, the more comfortable you get. Yeah. So you can continue there. Yeah, perfect. You don't do that.
So on the side, is that right?
Yes. So I'm going to stop you there. You actually, there is a great way to carry like that. That would be great for a woven wrap.
Okay.
Yeah. So what we're going to do is going to do the classic soft stretchy wrap.
Okay. You go for it. Show me.
So just exactly like you did, but then you're going to pop it inside. So
I think this is where I've been going wrong.
So pop it inside for me. Perfect.
But it's crossed.
And then you cross. Yes. So same, exactly what you did before. You cross it. It just, you pop it inside.
Okay.
So this will enable you to use this as an extra support, especially when baby starts getting a little heavier.
Yes.
And it'll help you keep them in there for longer without having a leg drag. And because the Ergo wrap is so nice and stretchy, you can actually pull nice and tight. Make sure, so you have a lot of loose fabric, you can tighten that up. So you can pull, if you want to pull like that, and like that, and then pull down.
And then
perfect.
Right. Okay.
And then exactly what you were doing before. We're going to cross again. There's a lot of crossing going on, and then to the side.
To the side.
So to be honest, you can probably tie this any way you like.
Yeah.
But I always say to the side, because when you do it in the middle, you have this nice hanging thing that's coming interfere with you with you
Okay.
walking. So I'm just going to tie that up here. So
So
ideally, you want to make sure that you do a double knot.
A
This
double
will
knot.
ensure, for what I always say is, if you're scared you're not got it tight enough or too tight or whatever, do a little bow for now.
Yeah.
But for baby safeties and making sure that it doesn't slip out, or if for some reason you get the end caught in
Yes.
a door or
And
something,
course.
and then there it goes, and you end up losing your wrap tightness because your wrap is getting undone. So you always want to
Very
make sure
good
you
tip.
do that. So a nice way to make sure you can always find your middle wrap is to put it over the knot.
Okay.
So your knot is going to be your holder, if you can say
Okay.
that. So we're going to open nice and wide. Make sure you can get in there. And how do you feel? Is it too tight?
No,
Is it
it's
okay?
good.
Perfect. All right.
And let's get
Shall
the
we get
little model.
Heston in there?
Come on then. Let's get our model. Okay. So we
Alright,
put baby
so
up on
on
my
your
shoulder.
You stick your arm through here. Put him in. Yep. Put one side. Just do one side and
Yeah.
make sure that's under his knee.
Okie
All right,
dokie.
and keep him there. Then you go on the other side and you put your arm in, and again you want to place it just under his knee.
There we go.
There. So now you have a little seat for him ready to go, right? Now you can start by pulling your edges around over his back. The inside one first, and that's good. And we can adjust more and more as we go, right?
Perfect. Let's put your little arms in, little boy.
Hey, see? Perfect. So by starting to put your hand through like that, you're making sure that he's immediately going in your ergonomically correct position. I don't know if you want to turn to the camera so
Yeah.
you can see his knees are nice and up, and his little legs are forming a nice little M. with
He
his-
feels really nice and tight and supported actually.
So, which is good. So if you find that he's sitting too high, so I'll put it in, because sometimes with the wraps and if we do it too tight, this can happen. Sorry, my wrap is so twisted up here, but that's all right. This is not a real baby.
It's not.
She'll be safe. So just for demonstration, what you can do is stick your hand in here, both sides, lean forward, and you want to put some gravity in.
Ah.
Yes, and then move him down. So if you pull your hands I'm going to show you, put like that, and you're going to do this motion to bring him a little bit down. Yes.
There we are.
So there you go.
Perfect.
So it takes a bit of wiggling around
Yeah.
sometimes, and a lot of mums will get distressed now because baby will now start fussing and stuff. Remember, babies always feel your body,
Yes.
your tension. So what you want to do is just take a walk, calm him down. If they start crying, just reassure them. Maybe give them a little bit more milk, or if they take a pacifier,
Yeah.
they suck on the pacifier.
I must say Heston loves the wrap.
Yeah. So
He's
you can see he's
instantly
already
very-
settling. It obviously will take some time for comfort level. So I can see, let's just pull this, and here we go. And it's both knees. And then where you found now your holder is there. So now that it is a bit fiddly. So you're gonna have to squeeze his little legs. Perfect. And now pull it up towards his back. And now that's an extra support for his bum.
That is amazing. That feels so lovely, like a really nice tight hug.
Because I find a lot of time mums will have baby wearing, but they'll still have their one hand.
Yeah.
Because they don't feel that security of baby being in there, especially when they haven't done the wrap tight enough or that. So now we can go through the same thing we did with Marianne and do the ticks.
Okay.
So T is for tight. So I say do the test, you lean forward.
With hands.
You can hold your hands just in case you don't have it tight enough. So obviously you want to support his head when he's small, but you don't want his body to flop away from you.
No, he's really
He's nice
tight.
and secure, right? So tight, he's tight enough. If he wasn't, with small babies, I would always recommend to undo and just start from the beginning. Because you don't want to risk, when you get older and you're really confident, there's tons of mums that I have seen that have a way of maneuvering it so they
Tightening
can
it
make
up,
it
yeah.
tighten up. Yeah. So we're tight. So because Heston is now so small, he's not very sleepy right now. He's like, so a lot of times if he's about to fall asleep, then obviously you can support
Tuck his head inside.
I'm not gonna-
Okay,
yes.
like so.
Perfect. So if he was sleeping and he wanted support for his head,
Pop it in.
pop it in. So in that you want to be in view at all times. So when you look down, you must be able to see his face.
So it's very important. So for example, sometimes he'll fall asleep and he's directly into my chest. I should always try and
just
maneuver
gently,
his head.
maneuver his head to the side is
Yeah.
always better. Yeah. So
Okay.
in view, and you want to make sure that you can see his nostrils and mouth,
Yeah.
so you can see if he's breathing,
Okay.
not turning blue.
Okay.
Hopefully nobody will ever have their baby turning blue in there, but it can happen if the wrong things have been. And
Okay.
I know it sounds really scary, but it is a reality,
yeah,
and
of
that's
course.
why doing your ticks is so important.
Okay.
So the next is chin off chest. So again, so you want to make sure he's not, if
Yeah.
his head is in the carrier like this, you don't want it to be like that.
Okay.
You want him to have a nice up, so it's the same as with the car seat. You don't want them in
Yes.
the car seat to be like that.
Is that just so the airways
So
are nice
airways
and clear?
nice and clear.
Okie
Yes.
dokie.
So
You're good
then,
for that, Heston?
Yes, then K is kiss. Can you kiss the top of his head?
Mwah.
So he's nice and high.
Yes.
You obviously don't want him to be here. With the older babies like Rafa, it's just because they are tall.
Yes.
Marianne is shorter, so I'm sure a tall man with Rafa on him will probably have him
Yeah.
lower. So it all depends on body proportions. But if they're this small, you want to have them high enough so you can comfortably kiss their head. Yeah,
He
and then
loves it.
support it. So support it, there's two things, and that's make sure your knees and you're making a nice M. So perfect. Rafa's got it. Oh, Rafa. Heston's got a nice M going. You want to make sure his knees are always higher than his bottom.
Yeah.
And you can do the same as what we do with Rafa. If you find that he's like really dangly in the wrap, you can put your hands in, nice C shape around their legs, and just pull them up to have a nice pelvic tilt. Like that. Yeah. And then supported as well is the back. You want to make sure that you're not too tight. You want to be tight, but you also don't want to squish their spine.
Yes.
So you can see Heston is making a nice C curvature with his spine. He could probably be a little looser,
Yeah.
but he's...
I've been a bit aggressive.
Yeah. But he's still comfortable.
Yeah.
And you still have a nice C, but you want to make sure that they can have a nice...
A little bit of wiggle room.
A curve in
little.
their back, yeah. So it can be a bit finicky to make sure that you're tight enough, but also that they have a nice... And normally if you do the little pelvic tilt, that helps with making sure that they do that
rounded.
as well. Yeah.
I think he's pretty happy in here.
Yes.
He loves it. He absolutely loves it. So
And you have your hands free now to run off the freedom.
Exactly. So one last thing on the wrap. What age do you recommend babies going in the wrap up until?
So for me, newborn a wrap is the best. But there's other carriers that emulate the same. So you've got ring slings that do this, that you can adjust for small babies to have the same. You've got nice My Ties or My Dyes. They've changed their name so many times, which is kind of hybrid wraps and things, woven wraps. But a stretchy wrap I find is still the best for me personally. For it fits everybody's shape and type. Mum, once you get over the initial shock of how to use it, mums get accord.
It's very easy.
So easy. And you know how many times I recommend mums to just keep your if you're a little bit handsy and you don't know, I just walk around like this when my baby was small. When my baby was small, take her out, she can lay down, have a little nap, or it's now awake time and she's in her Playmobil. Next time I need to get her back up, as long as she's not like me wearing a jumpsuit where you need to take everything to go to the bathroom, you're comfortable. And I have worn both my babies multiple times in the bathroom.
So have I.
So
yes, so have I. I think it's actually odd if you haven't.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I say always, especially when traveling as well, it's like public toilets. If they don't have a disabled toilet or a mum's toilet, you cannot get a pram or a stroller in a toilet cubicle. So,
and oh my gosh, if you ever have a sleeping child, or even if they're awake, and you the stroller goes under the hand dryer and it comes on, at least if they're here, they're close to you and they don't get startled.
Exactly. So if you're just around the house, baby's happy. Perfect. You can use the toilet as you want. Your hands are free. Baby is secure enough. You can run off to your toddler. You can take them in and out. And if you're having a really clingy day, just keep your wrap on your body. No need to.
That's a game changer, Frankie. I'm probably just going to wear this all day long now. And also, an amazing thing with this, it's so easy to wash.
Yes.
And in the Dubai heat,
throw them in the washing machine.
And outside, and boom, it's dry. You're ready to go again. It's fabulous.
And the nice thing about baby wearing, a lot of parents are very scared of the heat and baby wearing. It's actually so crazy that your body will regulate their temperature for them. So even though both of you might be sweaty, and when you come out, baby might be stuck to you.
Yes.
But they're not likely to, they won't overheat this close to your body because you're helping them regulate the temperature.
It's so clever, isn't it?
It is. It's
so clever.
Mother Nature is just amazing when it comes to all of these. So so your body will help regulate their temperature. Of course, you don't want to put them in the warmest woolly jumper and baby
inside there as well.
So you want to make sure you have a light cover, like little strappy top. I say is amazing. They can still get chest.
Yes.
You know the benefits of skin to skin on your chest. Then just take care when you do come into a very cold air conditioning. Obviously, you don't want baby exposed to cold air when they've just sweaty and have a little onesie on. So
amazing.
Yeah,
amazing.
Great. And if you're at home and it's just no top at all.
Oh yeah, that's great. Actually, when I was breastfeeding, I did just walk around topless the majority of the day. It became the norm. Yes. I feel like you've given me such amazing tips specifically with this bit over here. And
because I know you were talking about yesterday that you feel like Kirsten starts lowering and lowering as the day goes on or as the hour goes on. It's probably because you had that on the inside. So if you have it on the inside, there is definitely, you can do it that way around. It's just a little bit more fiddly because now you have to get it inside that and then that across.
Oh no, you've made it far easier.
Mums and first time baby wearers, this way around is easier. And I tell you, there's some baby wearing consultants that do amazing ways of wrapping and tying things. And I'm always
Frankie has made my life. I thought I'd got it down, but actually Frankie has given me even more tips. But if you followed along and you think that it was easy enough to see how we did it, amazing. If not, Ergo Baby, I believe, do have so many videos online, and they're easy enough to follow along. That's how I learned.
I'm happy as well to come and help out.
Because I do think that first time, or for the first few times, it's really important to kind of have someone, then you feel, confident to do it yourself.
And a great tip as well is if you do feel not as confident, is use a mirror. I say to mums, always tie your baby in the mirror. Yeah. It just makes it so much easier for you to see where they go, where their foot is, especially if you're trying to make sure that their head is supported. You can't find all the little bits and bobs, and then
you're right. I think also another thing that Frankie could help with is that if you're here in Dubai and maybe no family around and things, and maybe at some points throughout the day, if you're going to work and maybe you want your nanny to baby wear, it would also be amazing to have someone come over and properly show, because as much as I think I know I've got it down, I think for our lovely nanny to be wearing, I'd prefer for you to come in